This is the story of the Little Red Hen, and my name is Barbara Littke-Stallman, and I'll be your storyteller. Once upon a time, a little red hen found a grain of wheat. The little red hen wanted to plant the seed. The little red hen asked her friends to help her, but they wouldn't help her. They were too busy playing with a ball, fishing, and eating. So the little red hen decided to plant the seed by herself. She used her shovel and watering pail. The wheat grew tall and golden. Soon it was ready to be cut. The little red hen was so proud. The little red hen asked her friends to help her cut the wheat, but they were still too busy to help. So the little red hen, with her hat on her head, cut the wheat herself using her sickle. Next, the little red hen wanted to grind the wheat into flour. So she asked her friends to help her take the wheat to the mill. But they refused to help her. So the little red hen took the wheat to the mill herself. Next, the little red hen wanted to make bread from the flour. She begged her friends to help her, but they wouldn't help her. They said that they were too busy. So she baked the bread by herself. When it was finished, she took the delicious smelling bread out of the oven. Now her friends wanted to help her eat the bread. But the little red hen wouldn't let them help her eat the bread because they didn't help her plant the grain, cut the wheat, take it to the mill, or bake it in the oven. The little red hen and her chicks ate it all up by themselves. And that's the end of the story. This is the story of the gingerbread man. Once upon a time, there was a little old woman and a little old man. The little old woman loved to bake in her kitchen. One day, she made a huge gingerbread cookie man, shaped like a man. When the cookie was finished baking and was out of the oven, it jumped off the pan, winked at the little old woman, and ran away. The woman tried to stop the cookie, but the gingerbread man said, "You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." The little old man saw the cookie. The little old woman and the little old man chased the gingerbread cookie. A small gray kitten saw the cookie running. The little old lady and the little old man and the small gray kitten chased the cookie. But the gingerbread man said, "You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." The gingerbread cookie ran and ran until he came to a river. At the river, a fox offered to help the cookie cross the river. When they were crossing, the cookie started to get wet. So the fox told the cookie to climb up on his head. As they crossed the river, the water became higher and higher. Soon the fox told the cookie to jump on his nose. He jumped, but the fox opened up his mouth and ate the gingerbread man up. And that was the end of the gingerbread man. But then nobody felt bad about that. After all, everybody knows that gingerbread men are baked to be eaten. And that's the end of the story. This is a poem about Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up a hill. To fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down. And broke his crown. And Jill came tumbling after. And that's the end. Here's a poem about Little Miss Muffet. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet. Eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider and sat down beside her. And frightened Miss Muffet away. And that's the end. Here's a poem about Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. And that's the end of the poem. The title of this story is The Old Man. Once upon a time, there was an old man who put a seed into the ground. The seed grew into a huge orange carrot. The old man tried and tried to pull it out of the ground. He asked an old woman to help him. The two people tried and tried, but they couldn't pull it up. They called on a young girl to help. The three people tried and tried, but they couldn't pull it up either. The young girl asked a young boy to help them. Then the four people, the old man, the old woman, the young girl, and the young boy pulled and pulled. The carrot finally came up, and they all fell to the ground. And that's the end of that story.